But we've had demon activity tonight, and it hasn't been pretty. And throwing knives, not nice.
Crucifix.
We left at 4:45 a.m. in the morning after completing a 7-hour investigation. It had been an unusually quiet night. 10 minutes after we left, the demon tried to attract someone to its den in the basement.
Just like 10 minutes after, it was knocking from there. Then I heard, a few minutes later, I heard, it sounded like a young girl yell. It wasn't a high-pitched scream, it was more like a yell, but it just went once, just like she was terrified. I heard that old-time rotary phone.
And it was coming from?
It sounded like it was coming from that room in there.
Okay.
Not the room, that little
Closet?
Christmas closet, yeah.
Yep.
It sounded like it was coming from there, and it rang quite some time, and it was just as loud
So
as
you
a
both
regular-
heard it?
Yeah.
It was just as loud as a regular phone would be ringing, but there's no phone in there, there's no hookup for a phone, there's no nothing.
We had a plan going in, which was to clear the basement of anything and everything. We wanted to block that doorway there that led into the upstairs and back into the main house with a barrier. So you see with the bottom left there is the basement, a little foyer there, and then it went up steps into the upstairs. We did not want anything going back upstairs. We wanted to push it out that door that's to the forefront there where we're taking the picture. So we used a variety of salts, holy water, a crucifix, anointing oils, you name it, to create a barrier to block off that doorway going into the upstairs. We didn't want anything going back into the house.
And it sounded like it was coming from that side of the house down here, knocking. Then I heard, but that light bulb was not there when we left yesterday. That's new. We haven't been down here
Do you
today.
know where the light bulb came from?
I have no idea. It was not there when I left yesterday. Because I went that far and seen glass on the pillow.
Yeah, there's a good chunk up there.
It's a light bulb burst in here. This is a light bulb and candle.
Yeah, there's glass there. Do you know where it hit?
I don't know. I'm guessing on that wall. I don't think were you watching or I think
No.
see it knocked this thing over when that door came open. That thing was leaning against it.
All right, so let's go back to, so you came in and you laid on the bed.
Yeah.
Then what?
I saw stuff flying towards us.
So this door was open?
No, it swung open.
So you were in here and this door swung open. Have you touched this since then?
No.
It seems like it would be really hard for that door to open. Well, that door only comes about this far open. Is that about how far open it was?
No, that was leaning against it.
So it was against like this, maybe.
That's how it was. Yeah.
There you go. So that thing.
That's how it was. It was leaning up against there.
So then it would have flown out, hit the wall somewhere.
Over here.
Yeah.
So did you see something fly out?
Yeah.
But you didn't know what it was, you just seen something fly out. And then it hit over here?
Somewhere over there.
Then what did you do? You're
I got
laying
up and took off.
here and you jumped up and ran out.
At the top of the stair, and it pushed him back down, and I said, stay up there. Stay up there, don't even come down, because I figured I was going to knock him down again. I didn't want him to get hurt falling down the stairs. He went right out the door, and he just stood out there, and, yeah, come on, Mom, we gotta get out of here.
By this time the sage had gone out a little bit, so I restoked the sage and prepared to cleanse the house. The farthest point in the basement was that closet, now referred to as the demon's den. That's where I started.
In one picture that I took here, videotaping, there was a shadow against that wall right there, and it looked like a man figure with a I don't think they would.
Somebody did.
They threw it in the window.
It wasn't more than 7 minutes later. We had just gotten settled from the fact that it had broken once, and I started saging the small closet again, and the window breaks a second time. I run outside as fast as I can. I see the kids off to the side. They weren't right up by the window. I look in the window. Between the two windows, I could see that little handle to a knife laying in there. 40 minutes and 30 seconds in, there was a loud thud on the basement steps. At 40 minutes and 44 seconds, heavy footsteps in the kitchen. Mark ran upstairs to see what it was. Found the crucifix laying on the steps, halfway up. Found nobody in the kitchen.
Where was this thing?
What, the cross?
Yeah.
It was thrown down here.
Really?
It was that clunking sound you heard.
So something might have circled to come in.
"50 minutes and 16 seconds into it, I start with the holy water inside the demon's den. It didn't feel right. I decided to use the holy water. It's very cluttered. I'm working my way around. I'm ducking. I'm moving around. I'm shooting it with my fingers, trying to get the walls, trying to get everything. And things get crazy. I denounce all evil in the name of Father, is somebody outside? In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Ghost. You are not welcome here anymore. In your name and in your presence. Nothing will cross through or return. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on outside, knives flying around and stuff.
What?
That blade from that thing just went flying at that kid outside. From nowhere. The blade to it, big blade.
Okay. Where's Mark?
He's upstairs with them, that cross got thrown too.
Will you just stay right here for 1 second?
Where did this knife fly? From where to where?
From in the window, I think. Because I just heard him.
The kids were all on that swing. And that's when Mari started
Get some
running
good
in the
video
house.
of that window.
Well, it's outside and it may want back in. I hope it didn't find an opening.
Did you hear that? There's a bang right in here.
Yeah, well. It may have come back in that window. We may have to chase it out again. What window? Where was it? Trying to get in that room.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to get in because that's what's breaking from the outside. And
Yeah.
There's nothing in being thrown in there. Yeah, I did too. I heard glass.
It was over by the door over there.
Yeah, I hear it. I heard the two of the boys are all sitting here.
What's that?
No, it sounded over here.
I heard it. I heard glass too.
What was it?
Was that door open the whole time?
No, I think it was shut earlier.
I heard glass break.
I did too.
I heard it.
Is there no broken glass?
I heard glass break, but we don't see anything here on this side. I heard it. You heard this? Yeah. Well, when the boat came around, it sounded like it came from this side of the house.
Say, bring Russ around.
Pardon me?
Have Russ come over here.
Right.
How'd this knife get here? Where's the cross?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Will you bring the kids home or bring them somewhere? Where's the cross?
I don't know yet. Here, you want to take that for a second?
My sisters from my church are here.
Are they?
Can you have them give the house a blessing from the road?
Oh, you don't do blessings, do you? The elders do the blessings, huh?
Okay, we found a knife here.
We need to talk
And the
to
cross is gone.
I don't think they should come in.
Not in here, no, just from outside.
Yeah, don't bring them.
Don't bring them here.
Come in, just say a prayer or something from out there to this house.
Okay, the cross has been replaced with a knife.
You guys need to go.
That's quite unusual.
What happened to everything in my hand? Oh, yeah, just say a prayer for the house or something, and then I'll call you guys when this is over with one day.
Okay. Who put the knife there?
Oh, no, because they live
Who
far
put the
away.
knife there?
Oh. You want them to call somebody from my church to
No.
bless the house?
No, not right now.
Not right now. I'll call you guys and let you know if we need more help. I got people here, professionals that know what they're doing for now. Thank you.
Okay. Can you hold this for a second? It's coming in and out through this door. Well, it appears the crucifix is gone. She's gonna take those two home and take the boy with her. Where was the cross?
He's on the floor down in the living room.
This, I consider that done. This room is going to belong from here on out to Jesus Christ. This room is going to be taken over by the light,
Quiet and
by the
peaceful.
love. You want us to dispose of these?
Oh, yeah, please.
Let's dispose of all
If that
these
handle
knives.
we found looks like the my set that we have, but I have not seen that in a long, long time. So if it was in that room for some reason,
Yeah,
I
it
don't
flew
know.
out of that room.
It was not in my.
I'm gonna grab that other handle.
Grab all the knives that we found so far
Yeah, you guys take
and
them
let's take them along. We had this door blocked. I think it tried coming back in. I think it tried coming back in this door. It tried coming back in that window a couple times. This thing is in the yard. It's around. It's coming in and through that damn window. I'm envisioning tonight that we made that demon leave. That demon is not destroyed. That demon has been chased out. Something's been chased out of the house. Windows are breaking left and right. You know, basement windows. Knives are flying around. Unbelievable. The crucifix here was taken from here, tossed down into the downstairs floor and replaced with a knife, which I'll show in the video. Now, when I was clearing the closet where we assumed the trouble was sitting, when we cleared that closet, the closet windows just start breaking. Stuff's breaking, stuff's getting thrown in, stuff's getting thrown out. What, 4 or 5 times?
Yeah.
That window, something got thrown in or out of that. Now, as I was in there clearing the room with sage, holy water, and oils, something broke out and escaped through that window. I anointed the window from the inside and blessed it in such a fact that I said, Jesus, please, let this not be a door anymore. And then later on, it tried to break back in that window. But based on the rest of the clearing of the house, the saging, the experience that that we're having here, nothing came out here at the end. I think it came around this door. We had this door over here. This door up here was blocked off with oils, anointing oils, holy water, the works. It is our hopes that we created a wall there. That was our plan coming in, that we would block that door with a fake door. The hand of Jesus Christ would be on that door, blocking anything from going up in the house. And we drove everything towards this open door here. And unfortunately, I blocked it in that back room. All the better. I apologize for breaking your windows.
No problem.
That your windows are all broken now. But it came around and tried to get back in this open door. We had that so full of sage smoke down there and whatnot that it could not come downstairs. It got mad, it threw the crucifix, raised hell, started throwing knives out here. There was a couple
Like
kids.
here's one of them.
Yep. Here's one of the knives that flew through the air. We do not know. The family does not recognize this knife even.
Well, it's
it
been
was a
missing
part
for
of
a
a
while,
set
she said,
that was
yeah.
missing for a long time.
Long time.
Over a year even.
Yeah.
Oh, well over a year. All of a sudden, this blade shows up flying across the yard towards the kids.
And actually, you found the handle first,
I found the handle. Yep.
and then the blade came later.
And the blade came later.
But once you found that, I looked for the blade. I couldn't find it anywhere.
Okay.
So I looked all around out there, and it wasn't.
Okay.
So
So, but we have sense. We had the kids outside. We didn't want them inside. Finds out that the demon, whatever it is outside, right? And it throws a knife at the kids. We got the kids the heck out of here. We got them sent home. I mean, obviously much too dangerous. They can't even be outside here. So we're going to block off this door here with the hand of Jesus and try to keep them out of this house. But we also got to do something in the yard yet. We got to clear the yard.
Yeah, we do.
We need to get everything out of the yard too. So, but we've had demon activity tonight, and it hasn't been pretty. And throwing knives, not nice.
crucifix.
I want nothing to go in or out of this door. Dear Jesus, I ask you to protect the openings of this house with angels. I ask that you keep any evil, any entities, anything from ever entering through this opening ever again. All right, and let's just show the knife.
Okay, so we'll go to the knives first. So when did you say that happened?
A month ago?
Just a month ago.
Oh yeah, this all happened just since I called contacted
3
you
weeks,
guys.
maybe even.
So you came in and found them all stuck in the.
They were all stuck in that.
It must have happened at night.
Just like
She got
somebody
up,
stood
she got
right
up before
here
us and found
And
it.
just tossed them.
Fling, fling.
Yeah, because you can see there's a hole. There's a hole. There's a hole. There's a hole.
The knives were all in that
There's a
wall,
hole,
every
yep.
knife.
Yep, there's another one.
Every knife that I had, even paring knives.
Good evening, and welcome to Talk the Paranormal with Russ and Mark.
Yes,
Tonight we shall be speaking about angry demons.
a demon.
Very angry, very destructive,
And this was,
very fast-paced.
it's over a week ago now, so. But we both had a feeling that this was coming that day. There's no doubt about it. I got a couple emails from the family because we had just been there to do the investigation on Friday night. And Saturday I get like 3-4 emails saying, all hell's breaking loose.
Right, and actually she said it started immediately after we left,
Within 10 minutes.
within 10 minutes.
Which is amazing because it was kind of quiet while we were there. Without even having talking to that lady yet, I knew we had to go to this location again and really get to the bottom of this, that we could not leave things hanging for them like that.
Right.
Whether it be a spirit guide telling you, whether it be the demon encouraging us to come, daring us, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know, something, but I knew all day Sunday I was piped up, powered up, I was ready to roll into whatever was going to come, and I knew it was coming. I knew something was coming.
Yep.
So we decided to clear the basement. We had that plan going in. And the farthest part of the basement was the little den, the closet, where the trouble was coming from. And only hours before, something had thrown out Christmas candle, I think it was.
It was
Probably
a candle
in a jar.
Broke against the wall.
And threw it at the boy, literally. Boy was laying down in the bed temporarily, looking at his phone.
Well, there's
And-
some light bulbs out there too.
Yep, and light bulbs had broken at some point. Probably maybe earlier that morning, some of that stuff she heard. And so things were breaking down in the basement, glass things. Numerous different items had been broken. The sage was going, and all of a sudden we hear the glass shatter. And I look into that closet, and I could see that something had went completely through the window. And not only that, it had knocked over that fake poinsettia or whatever it was. That was on the ledge there. That was down on the
Oh,
ground.
that was on the shelf.
That had been on the shelf.
Oh, I didn't even know that came off.
Yep, and that was now laying down on the floor. I looked around for something that could have been thrown in. I didn't see nothing. Granted, there's a lot of stuff in that little closet. It was quite packed full of things, but nothing. So, long story short, you ran outside, find a knife,
Found a knife on the ground. A kitchen knife.
kitchen knife, regular what, like a steak knife, would you say?
Yeah, read it about that size, a little bigger maybe.
Yep, about 2-3 feet from the window outside. So then we started to wonder, did something fly in or did it fly out? There were 3 teenagers outside. I must mention that they were outside. One was the son of the resident there, and 2 of his friends were present for a good chunk of the evening.
And when I asked them about the window breaking, they said they heard a sound, so they didn't hear it like we heard it.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't know where the knife came from. And you could tell it surprised them to see the knife.
And literally, when it first happened, I mean, I don't know if you thought it, but I just assumed it was them.
I did at first too.
Yeah, we all but get comfortable with what happened. It breaks a second time. I wasn't barely even close to it with the sage.
Yeah, we were just back in the
We just got,
bedroom again.
yeah, we just got situated. Boom, the window breaks again. I run upstairs, run outside. The teenagers are kind of all off to the right side of the yard. Nobody real close. I mean, granted, they could have ran over there quick, I suppose, but
But once again, we didn't find. There was one pane that was broken in front of another one that was intact. And there was no rocks inside. We didn't find rocks on the shelf.
and the kids were inside of the fence. There's a fence around this place,
Right.
and a fence right here. The window's over here, and the kids are on this side of the fence over here. So they would have had from the edge of the fence, maybe tried to throw some, but
But this time you pulled a knife handle out. But now that's something that from my picture earlier, it was in there, correct?
yeah. When you took the first picture, I could see the knife handle in there. We went back inside because at this point we're like, okay, we need to commence with clearing this basement. We need to get going. And we all but got downstairs, and then you hear something.
Yeah, at that point I heard what sounded like somebody running around in the kitchen, or multiple people running around in the kitchen. So I went immediately up to see what was going on. The kids were outside sitting where they had been. There was no way they could have run past, because we would have gone right right at the same spot. The back door was locked. The side door was really their only option. In the short period of time it took me to get there.
Right about that time, within minutes, there was we had the spirit box going. There was a girl's voice again, and that was kind of every time we went there, we were hearing female voices down in the basement. So
Yeah, even out of their closet.
Yep.
On a prior.
whether it was off the voice box or on just an EVP, we were hearing female voices. We were hearing them with our ears.
Right.
Well, I start the clearing. I'm saging this room, and all's quiet for a short time. And I get done saging it, and I'm not feeling right. I'm like, I'm not done here. I'm not feeling that I've cleared the room. So I get the holy water out, and get the bottle out, and I'm getting some in my hands, and I'm kind of shooting it around. Well, there's a lot of stuff in there, a lot of boxes.
There is.
I mean, there's so much stuff, you can't even get to the walls. So I'm like bending over, shooting it up, trying to, because I don't want it to be all on the superficial boxes and stuff. I want it to be on the actual walls, floor, ceiling. And so I'm working at this, and it's kind of a procedure for such a small room, but I couldn't, I had to find little openings and move boxes around. So I start saying some of the prayers. I'm like, I denounce all evil, and I'm going to say, in the name of the Father and Son. And that was my intent to say that, but I had a large pause right after I said, I denounce all evil, and before I said Father, then we had a response, an EVP, whether it be from a spirit guide or whatever it may be. Somebody was there to help us, and somebody said Jesus. I felt really good knowing that somebody was there with us, helping.
Right.
The minute that was said, I finally said Father, and the minute I said Father, boom, the window shatters again. Third time.
And that one sounded loud.
It sounded like I brought my hand up like this real fast because I thought that entire window was imploding. For what amount of glass broke, the sound of it was like 15 times.
It was crazy because he's right. The sound of it sounded like the entire window was breaking out every time.
And it would have been after that, then you were outside.
Okay, so I had gone upstairs outside to the kids, and they had found the other part of the knife. You'll see in a picture, it's the cleaver part, and it had been thrown from the back of the house in their general direction anyways.
Yep.
And they came carrying it. They're like, this flew out from back there. And one of the kids, the friends, was noticeably shaken.
And at that point, that's when we started talking to the family about getting the kids out of there.
Right.
Because at this point, we had no idea. Another kid out on the sidewalk got that rock thrown at him from out of nowhere.
Yep.
That happened too.
And so, but before the kids went, that's what. And so before the kids went, that's when the crucifix was replaced.
Yep.
Because I came back in from being outside, and another knife, a third knife, had been put in place of the crucifix.
I came around the corner when you called me, and I seen that the knife was standing there, leaned up against the step, blade pointing straight up.
Yep.
It was sitting in the exact spot that crucifix was sitting.
Yep.
When I came around the corner and I seen that, I just about, I don't know, I had such a crazy feeling when I came around and I seen that. And I actually kind of yelled out, where did that crucifix go? Or whatever I said, and everybody there probably thought I was yelling at, whatever I was doing, but
Yep. And then I
I
found
was so shocked.
Yeah, and then I found it shortly after in the basement on the other side.
So we got all this going on right at this exact same time. And this is dark by this time. It's dark out.
And it's a very dark night, no moon.
Yep. So it's a
Yeah,
dark
overcast
night,
night.
it's dark outside. And two ladies call from the front yard just outside the fence. It's two sisters from the church. And they just happened to show up. Now, we haven't been able to get a hold of these ladies yet to find out, did a neighbor call them? You know, we've been unable to identify why those two sisters from the church just happened to show up
Yeah.
just at the exact time that all this is going
And to
on.
know something was wrong too.
Right there when the knife replaces the crucifix. Hey, can we help? You know,
Yeah,
and it's
it
like,
was strange.
that was the strangest thing I'd ever seen. And so all of a sudden we're dealing with them. We're like, where did they even come from? I can't explain that with anything that I can come up with other than they had some type of intuitive feeling as well and just found themselves there. We finally get to go back down the basement and clear that thing. Is it possible that this could have been coordinated by someone? Maybe by the teenagers, maybe by the whole family. You know, we had some real good measurements on the EMF. We were watching some of the video that the mother had taken previously of her son getting choked and pushed around by something that couldn't be seen. And we were sitting down in the basement, which is kind of a living room like this one we're sitting in right now, same thing. And so we're all sitting on the couches, chairs. We got the equipment laying on the table, and we're watching this video. And the EMF meters, we had two of them on the table. Just,
And the dog was agitated.
yep, the dog got severely agitated. The meters were just almost all the way buried in the red. And so something was very attracted to the fact that we were watching those,
Or upset.
that we were watching those videos. During our initial visit there, we had the boy actually got pulled off of a chair. And we had some furniture shake.
Yep.
I mean, we had some activity going on. But at that point, there was the question: could this be faked? And whenever something like this happened, this dog went absolutely haywire.
Yeah. He wasn't happy.
Yeah. And we were getting meter readings. We're specifically talking about the basement on this one and the activity on the Sunday night that we were there. But in the end, there were times when both you and the mother were upstairs. Even a time when I was upstairs, the fifth time the window broke, fourth and fifth time, we were all outside at the time. You know, we weren't standing right there, and we didn't necessarily have eyes on everybody. But the window broke a fourth and fifth time while we were outside.
They couldn't.
How would they even have any idea that I was down by that basement window saging? They had no
Especially
idea what we were there doing.
Broke in your face like that.
Yeah, to have that window break right in my face. These kids I could have been up in an attic for all they knew.
Looking
know?
down. Maybe.
Yeah. We could have been standing there looking out the door.
Well, and on top of that, I came out of that door numerous times, and they were all sitting in the corner of
Yep.
the yard.
So for
For them to do it, they would have had to have been
for
extremely
them
fast.
for somebody to sneak up there and replace that crucifix, or have the guts to take that crucifix, throw it down 2 times, second time replacing it with a knife, with him walking back and forth constantly.
Yep.
How would they know when he's coming, going? They had no idea.
No, and
I don't see any way how.
And they were sitting in the corner.
Yep, how they could have managed. Now the second part of this is there was writing on the walls. You know, the old usual get out, get out or die stuff. And we looked at that, the writing, we tested him, we had him write some stuff. We're trying to figure out, is it possible? Is the demon using this teenager as his puppet to do some of these actions? I think it's a possibility.
It's possible. It could have done the writing as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell. Their writing at that point wasn't the same.
No, the writing was totally different. So,
Just some of the questions that come up after that.
but we're doing and we have done everything we could to question this, to debunk things that have occurred, we've tried literally to convince ourselves that perhaps these teenage kids did it. But you keep adding the evidence up.
Right. We look at the timelines. We look at where I was in reference to them, and yeah, it doesn't fit that they could have done all of that.
Yep. And without somebody seeing, without somebody knowing, and with not knowing at all what our game plan is. They didn't know what our game plan was that night.
And
Like I
on
say, for
top
them
of
to
that-
break that window 4 times when I was in that vicinity, and they didn't even know I was
they're-
at that location.
and on top of that, that one kid especially was getting extremely scared.
Right, right.
So,
And to top it all off, I guess, we get done with this it was an investigation, but we got done. We did an investigation on Friday night, went back Sunday night with the intent to push a demon out of that house. I got a feeling that's what we did. We felt successful in that particular point.
right, the basement seemed a lot more peaceful.
The basement, after we were done, was really, really peaceful. We cleared the yard as well. We tried to create a kind of a protective barrier along the fence. And we ran into a situation out there by the garage where a lot of this very close to where this activity occurred, and boom, my headlamp goes out of the blue, no reason.
And that's what you also saw light back there.
And there was a flash of light, right?
Yep, and that back corner was where the garage and a tall fence came together.
Right.
So it's not like you saw lights from anywhere else.
No, and it's in an alleyway, so you don't see. I mean, it was
Yeah.
dark, and frankly, it was just a dark, eerie corner. It was just dark in general.
And I had seen something back there before too when I was roaming.
Mhm.
About, like a light or whatever, a flash of something.
Yep.
But I mean, I didn't.
And other people had seen that flash. I think the mother had seen the flash
Right.
when I seen it and remarked about it.
And then your headlight came on.
Yeah, but then I continued around. I didn't stop what I was doing. I continued with the process of clearing and creating this boundary for these people. And I come around that corner and the light goes off all the way around that dark corner.
Yep.
And I
You were
noticed
actually
the
coming-
door is open at a garage, the
Yep.
back door of the garage about this much.
And you were actually coming out of that corner when it came back on.
It was after I got to the door and I had this crazy feeling that whatever it was may have gone into the garage.
Yeah.
And I said, maybe it's living in the damn garage. The light came on as I anointed
Right.
that door of the garage. Because I had such a eerie feeling back there. I said, if something's in this garage, I'm going to try to cut this garage door off. Try to cut this garage off from the rest of the yard. And the minute I finished that, boom, my light was on, bright as ever. Never had another trouble with it the rest of the night.
Right.
So that corner was a damn eerie corner. And I got a feeling that shit was sitting in that corner, and that's where it was at when it was outside. But that's not even the end of the story. The real proof is in what comes up yet. We finally clean everything up. We head back to my place. We're unloading stuff in the garage. We have been collecting items from the different locations that, if they've been touched by
Curse, attachments,
whatever, if they've been touched by the unknown, so to speak, and we ask the family, Do you want to continue to keep this, or do you want to get rid of it?
Or in that case, they're like, get this stuff out of here.
Right. Yeah, they're just, and why not, right? So we brought that stuff home. We're out in the garage. We're explaining some of the story to my wife. I go in the house. I'm getting something to drink. You're sitting out there, and then what happens?
Right, as I'm telling her the story of what happened, then we had the knives laid out to the right of the garage. I could see a hula hoop leaning up against, I don't know what it was, a corner in there?
Corner of
or
a
something.
shelf.
Yeah, a corner of a shelf. And as I'm telling the story, I mean, there's no wind that night. The other garage door was closed, and it sat in there, and it started to do this, like, wobble. And it did it for a bit. It sustained it for a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
And then it stopped and laid against there. I think it had stopped by the time you came back out.
And then, I mean, and we're not talking an inch. You said it was
No,
literally
yeah,
8 to 12 inches
Yep,
of.
so if it was sitting like this, it was going like this. Like wobbling.
Mhm.
Like quite a bit. Yeah.
So I get back out in the garage and we're like, uh-oh.
Yep.
Something, something just,
Well,
Yeah.
and of course, you know, we had brought that back, so
mm-hmm.
I think that much dawned on us.
Mm-hmm. So we knew something wasn't right at that point. And in the morning I wake up and my weak spot is, probably I've mentioned it numerous times, my weak spot is my stomach. Yours is in your upper back. You know, we have these spots that, you know, when things just don't seem right, we know it by our weak spots. And I felt the discomfort there. And I had the most incredible sense of gloom and doom that morning. And I'm not a doom and gloom guy by any means. And but I was like, oh boy, we really got ourselves into it this time. And I don't know if we'll ever be able to fix it. And I had that whole thought,
Yeah, you were.
and that's not me, you
No.
know, that is not me at all.
No.
And I'm like, and I recognized the symptoms right away. I immediately made some contacts with some people in my network and got some help. About 10 o'clock that morning, I was sitting there, and it was like somebody had just turned the power on. Like I had a battery in the back, and somebody put a brand new battery into me, and
You were fine.
I knew right there and then whatever was now gone. And when I talked to my friends later on in the day, they're like, yeah, we had to get in there and destroy a demon that had followed you home, followed your energy home. And I was quite appreciative of that. And that was that. We've been in contact. I just got an email today from the resident. They did have one door slam upstairs. Like I say, but I said, don't be frightened. There are some other ghosts in the house. I mean,
Yeah, some things remain there.
yep. So we're gonna end up going back over there, probably trying to cross over. We might try a new piece of equipment over there. See if we can identify what's going on in that upstairs. But so far so good. They've been the lady's been sleeping down in the basement pretty much every night.
Yep.
It's
and-
calm, it's quiet. We went down there several times, and just a sense of peace down there now.
Yep. Yep. Very quiet down there. And
Very, yeah.
because she was experiencing things like seeing the black shapes moving.
Black shadows,
Yep. And feeling uneasy and
black figures,
all of that. So.
everything.
Yep. And then for her to sleep down there again, because they hadn't been sleeping in there
Nope, they hadn't been sleeping there for
for quite a while.
maybe months even.
Yep. For at least months.
So,
So for her to sleep there and feel at ease
yeah,
is a positive thing.
definitely. So, in essence, that's a long story. I sometimes say a long story short, but that was just a long story. But hey, I hope you like the video. Learn what you can, glean from it what you can, and I hope you come back and watch some more videos. We've got more to come. We've got another one. We're going to go right into another interview right after this on another investigation that was quite as active.
It was, and took an interesting twist.
Very, very. So, please, keep an eye on our videos. Share, like, all the above. And we hope to see you again soon.
Ciao.